The current global economic framework is primarily characterized by fiat currency systems, where the value of money is not pegged to any physical commodity but is rather based on trust and confidence. While fiat currency allows for greater monetary flexibility, its association with inflation, income disparity, and crony capitalism raises concerns about its impact on the economically disadvantaged. This video explores the intricate web linking fiat currency economies, inflation, income inequality, and crony capitalism, highlighting their collective adverse effects on the welfare of the poor. Fiat currency economy. Fiat currency is a form of currency that is not backed by a physical commodity but derives its value from the trust and confidence of the people using it. Governments and central banks have the authority to issue and regulate fiat currency, enabling greater control over monetary policy. While this flexibility can be advantageous in responding to economic challenges, it also presents risks, particularly when it comes to the impact on vulnerable populations. Inflation. Inflation, a consequence of the flexibility afforded by fiat currency, has a disproportionate effect on the poor. When governments increase the money supply, aiming to stimulate economic growth, it often results in a decrease in the purchasing power of the currency. The cost of basic goods and services rises, impacting those with fixed incomes or low wages the most. Inflation erodes the real value of money, making it more challenging for the poor to afford essential items, exacerbating their economic hardship. Income disparity. The tandem rise of inflation and income disparity further compounds the challenges faced by the poor. Inflation tends to affect different income groups unevenly, with the wealthy often possessing assets that can act as a hedge against rising prices. Conversely, individuals with limited financial resources experience a decline in their real income. This growing income gap widens the chasm between the affluent and the economically disadvantaged, hindering social mobility and perpetuating a cycle of poverty. Crony capitalism. The nexus between fiat currency and crony capitalism introduces another layer of disadvantage for the poor. In a crony capitalist system, well-connected individuals and businesses benefit disproportionately from government policies, subsidies, and regulatory decisions. The ability of central banks to manipulate interest rates and create money at will can be exploited by those with political and economic influence, further entrenching the advantages of the privileged few. Crony capitalism undermines fair competition, distorts market forces, and allocates resources based on personal connections rather than merit. The poor, lacking such influential connections, find themselves at a systemic disadvantage, struggling to access opportunities and resources that are concentrated in the hands of a select few. This exacerbates economic inequality and limits the ability of the poor to break free from the cycle of poverty. The impact on the poor. The collective impact of a fiat currency economy intertwined with inflation, income disparity, and crony capitalism is particularly harsh on the poor. As the cost of living rises, their limited resources are stretched even further, making it difficult to meet basic needs, such as food, shelter, and healthcare. The widening income gap diminishes their chances of upward mobility, creating a sense of hopelessness and despair. Moreover, crony capitalism fosters a sense of injustice and disenchantment among the poor. When the economic system appears rigged in favor of the well-connected, the belief in the possibility of upward social and economic mobility is eroded. This not only perpetuates a cycle of poverty but also contributes to social unrest and a breakdown of trust in institutions. Conclusion? The intertwined dynamics of fiat currency economies, inflation, income disparity, and crony capitalism create a challenging environment for the economically disadvantaged. The poor bear the brunt of rising inflation, experience a widening income gap, and face systemic barriers to economic advancement in a crony capitalist system. Addressing these issues requires a thoughtful and inclusive approach, focusing on policies that promote economic equity, transparency, and opportunities for all. As societies grapple with the complexities of their economic systems, a commitment to mitigating the adverse effects on the poor is essential for fostering a more just and equitable world.